And there's your ponytail holder.
Definitely impressed with the way the little Eastwood is welding. Maybe I'm getting better. Welcome back to the Orange Wires Garage YouTube channel, and welcome back to the Orange Wires Garage. In the last episode, we took delivery of a 2010 Toyota Tacoma four-wheel drive truck. It's a double cab in that beautiful Timberland mica color. We also started working on this 2014 Toyota Tacoma. She's also a four-wheel drive. And this truck's Barcelona red. It's got a little bit more damage than the 2010 had. And we're continue working on the 2015 TSS Sport Series that we picked up over in South Carolina. So we've got tons of work to do today. So let's get started by pulling this radiator support off, drilling a bunch of holes, and getting it ready to paint. And then we'll step into the booth and get our green Timberland mica stuff painted. So let's hop to it. Let's get some of this work done. I got all of the holes drilled, and we put some weld through primer on the back side. And then I started welding on this side, getting everything all welded up, just like OEM. And man, this thing is starting to come together. So I'm gonna finish welding this other side and get it 100%. I'm using the little Eastwood MiG 135 to weld up the radiator support. Definitely impressed with the way the little Eastwood is welding. Maybe I'm getting better. Maybe I'm just getting better at setting it up. But everything is looking really good. I still got to grind them down and make them smooth like I did over here on this side. And then we'll just put a little bit of glaze on there. Just kind of make it look good. We'll prime it up, and then we'll probably paint this whole radiator support, make it look really nice. All sprayed in on this 14 Barcelona red truck. Man, that is looking phenomenal. Use just a little bit of clear coat in with the base coat, not to make it too shiny, but you can't make it too shiny. It's a 2014. We'd have to paint everything under the hood, but boy, don't that look nice. All my welds turned out really nice. Everything's really nice. It's just nice. And then I brought the hood in here and just scuffed everything up really quick. Painted the underside of the hood for our red Barcelona red truck. Then I trimmed out our fender so that we can put it on and paint the outside of it all at once. Still kind of cold today, but we did get it up to 50 degrees in the booth today. When we paint in the booth, it's really been really cold. We had to take the jet heaters in and stuff. So we got a little bit of trash up in the hood. We had to set in and sand it all down. Went through 2 or 3 stages of wet sanding, and then we came back and buffed it all out. And that turned out really nice. Put the 2 headlights in on this 2010 Timberland mica truck. And I ordered them just chrome, with no yellow, just all kind of chrome and clear. They look really nice. So everything is fitting fitting really nice, just giving it a test fit. But I'm gonna have to take this fender back loose because we forgot to put in the little bitty mud flap guard that goes behind the fender. It's no big deal. We'll just scoot that fender out, put that in there real quick, and then I hope to get this red truck untaped, and then maybe put the radiator and condenser and everything back in, kind of get everything back together so we can get that thing painted. I'm really excited about the progress we made. And I just gave the whole front end of the truck a nice quick test fit with the new headlights, the new grille, put the bumper back on, and man, that stuff looks really, really good. For aftermarket stuff, you just can't complain. Still got the flare to put on and the fender liner, a few little things, odds and ends. And I had to order a new door lock. So now this lock has got a different key than the switch key. So basically we got 2 keys for it right now. And I'm thinking I might just get the locksmith to come and then fit the new door lock to this key. And even if I don't do that, if we can't get the locksmith out here, it's not the end of the world, because back in the day, the Ford trucks had 2 keys, one for the door and one for the switch. Chevrolet's was the same way. But maybe we can get him out here and change those tumblers out and get it fixed up. It shouldn't be too much trouble anyway. But let's move on and put some more of this stuff together. Work over on a red truck. We got some buffing to do on the black truck. We just got a lot of stuff to do. So let's hop back to it and get some more work done. If you follow along on the channel, you know I'm constantly trying to get that nut off the antenna base, and I can never get it off, and I always have to buy a new one. But I don't know if I've ever went through the process of changing it out. So let's do that today. Let's go through that process really quick. You can see right there, I just cut the wire on the old antenna base, and this goes through the cab of the truck. So just like this, you pull that little grommet out. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this molding right here, because we've gotta get to the kick panel here, which the wire runs all the way up and it plugs up right in here. So all of this stuff has got to come off. And that is why I always try to get the nut off, because the mast and everything will stay. The base would just stay right bolted to the truck. The fender comes right off, and then you can put it right back on. But since we couldn't get the nut off, let's go ahead and take all of this stuff off and see if we can show you how to get that cable out. And over here on the kick panel, there's this little nut that just unscrews. And that's this little nut, and there's the little stud sticking up through the floor. And the kick panel, it's kind of got to come out towards you a little bit, because these clips right here are what hold it in to these clips right here. Once you get that out of your way, right here's the cable, and it goes up through here, and it has a series of clips on it. And this grab-it handle, the old crap handle, whatever you want to call it, it's got the 2 little covers on it right here that you got to pry off with a panel popper to show the 2 10mm bolts. now the whole panel will come loose. It's got a clip right at the top, and then it just comes right up, right out of the dash and right out of the way. And there's your ponytail holder. And right here, you can see right there is the spot where the antenna plugs up to the truck. And this is the part that goes to our radio, and this is the part that goes to the antenna. So we got a series of those little clips that we got to get out. I'll show you on the new one. They finally started making these things aftermarket. So there's the nut, and there's the little grommet, holds it down, and then here's our mast assembly here. This is what goes against the fender, and then it comes down, and this is what bolts up to the truck. There's a little grommet we took out on the outside, and then we've got actually 3 of these little clips. 1, 2, 3 that we've got to get out. And you can see the first 2 right there. They're not too hard to get to. You can take the glove box out and it makes it a little easier, but I can reach just a panel popping tool in there and probably get both of those out. And you can see it right there with the blue tape on it. And I'm gonna get the tool up in there and try to pop that one loose. I got it popped loose right there. You can see the hole. You can see where I just popped it loose. And we got this already loose out here. So then I just try to work it out, you know, with all the clips. And then there it is. So you guessed it, the reverse is just gonna be tucking everything back in here and then bolting this new antenna right here to this little bracket. And then we can see our cable here. So we just gotta fish it right back up through into here, which is not too hard. I just stick my arm up in there and run it through, but you could fish it whatever way, you know, run a fish tape down there even, but I just use my arm. It's not too bad. Like I said, I just use my arm and get it stuck in there. So now we just gotta put these little clips back in the little holes where they go. And then all we have to do is plug in the antenna going to the radio. And just like that, we got the whole thing done. Now we just got to put our trim panels back on. And then I'll probably go ahead and just push this little grommet right back in there. In case she goes outside, nothing will get up in the floorboard. So you can definitely see why I would love to get that nut off. And that way the antenna mast and everything could just stay right on the truck and the fender could come right off. We could paint it, change it, do whatever, and not have to do all of those steps. If it's okay, we got it done. So let's move on and change out this radio. And I usually don't like to change the radios. I actually really like these factory radios. But this one has got issues. So we just get a white screen and nothing else. And then it'll never go off, even if I turn the switch off and take the key out. The screen's still going to stay white. So I'm going to take my panel popping tool and then I'm going to pop this out because I got just an Android radio to go back in here, and then we'll see if we can get that all hooked up. We'll pop these panels loose and see if we can get this thing out of here. Once you get those 4 bolts out, then it's smooth sailing, just a bunch of clips. So I'm going to unplug all of these cables from the back and get this radio completely out. And I got everything unplugged and whole spaghetti junction going on right there. There's our radio we took out. And then the little piece on the bottom that's got the clock, the flasher, and the airbag display, we got to take that out. So since our radio, it had the white screen, and evidently that was a thing. So I've been working to try to put this Android radio in, because when I ordered it, it said it was from a 05 to a 15. I got it. It was 05 to 13. So I had to do just a little bit of modifying to get all of this to work, and I had to rewire some stuff to make some things work that we wanted, like our factory camera. Like we want to use that. Check that out. I rewired all that so I could get that to work. The cheap little radio, but hey, check it out, it works. And I was able to get the steering wheel buttons to work, but I couldn't get the volume to work here. So what I did is I programmed a short press of this button to bring the volume up, and a short press of this one takes it down. And then you can make a long press to still answer and hang up the phone, which is pretty cool. Then I made this button on the steering wheel to just turn the radio off, which is pretty cool also. You can turn it back on. And like I said, I did have to modify it a little bit, but I think it turned out okay. I mean, it sounds really good. And you can get YouTube on it, like the YouTube works. All of that stuff works, which is pretty cool. It sounds really good. So, hey, I like it. And I would much rather have the factory radio. We just got to play with what they gave us. Couldn't find a radio on eBay. They're $300-400. So we got that Android one for 50 bucks. Seems to work okay. So we're just going to go with that. So now that we got the radiator support all painted, it's time to get that radiator, condenser, fan, and fan shroud all back in. We can get the transmission cooler hooked up. So let's hop to that and get that done. And I spent a good amount of time getting this whole front end rebuilt. We got the radiator on, the condenser on, the hood latch, all the brackets, the braces, our windshield washer jug, the fan, and we got it full of antifreeze. We got no leaks. So I think the front end of this thing turned out really nice. And now we got our parts here all lined up. We've got a brand new hood that we got to paint all over. We got this fender that we're going to have to kind of blend onto. Then we got a brand new fender. We already trimmed it out. We got a brand new bumper and then a couple of miscellaneous pieces. So I want to get all this stuff into the booth, kind of get everything ready to get it all painted. Then we can start putting that red truck back together. We still got a lot to do on the green truck. Well, not so much left to do on the green truck. We got a little bit left to do on the green truck. A little bit left to do on the black TSS edition. Let's get this stuff in the booth. Let's see if we can get it cleaned up and shined up and get everything painted. Looking real good in Barcelona red. we've been making just a ton of progress on these 3 Tacomas. We've got a little bit left to go on the black one, a little bit left to go on the green one. This red one's been the most work so far, but as soon as we get that stuff painted, we're gonna break down the cost in the next episode, hopefully, of all 3 of these trucks. So don't forget to turn those post notifications on. We'll catch you guys next time in the next episode of Orange Wire's Garage. Thanks for watching. We're out.